So this guy is flying his plane and he is flying from France to England. He is wanting to go back to breakfast. It's evening, but the time schedule goes ahead and he'll be reaching for breakfast. Yeah, France, yes. From night, yes, he's going to go into the morning part of England. He's going to have breakfast. English people have huge breakfast. They eat breakfast like a king. Boiled eggs, or they'll have fried eggs with bacon, with ham. They'll have bread, they'll have butter, they'll have whipped cream, they'll have mashed potatoes, and they'll have French fries, whatever. It's a huge breakfast. Or they'll have porridge, or they'll have oats with juice and coffee or tea. So that's breakfast, king size breakfast, which people do have in England, because breakfast is the main meal after you get up. Okay, so this is what the Douglas is all about, the DS-088. So this man, he was flying his plane. I was flying my Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with his family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. It's night, but it's going to be AM. I should call Paris control soon. I thought as I looked down past the noise of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088, 088, here, can you hear me? I'm on my way to England, over. Over and out, that goes. The voice from the radio answered immediately, DS-088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS-008, over. Over means finished, then you can say something else. He checked his map and the compass which was there in his plane. You always have it on your dashboard. And he checked his second fuel tank and last fuel tank which he had, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. I'll be in time for breakfast, I thought. Good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds, storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. Once in his mind, he thought, I ought to go back to Paris. I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. I will take the risk. I thought and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. It was an old plane. Inside the clouds, suddenly everything was black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. It happens, you go on that rumbling thing. When you go through a cloud, the plane starts shaking. It's a bumpy ride. The pilot, when you're in a passenger aircraft, the pilot is going to mic, and he's going to say it on the microphone. You can hear his voice saying that there's going to be a bumpy ride because of clouds or some rain, plane shakes, or you'll get tensed. It's quite tensing. It's quite frightening in the sky, when your plane starts bubbling or jumping. The clouds, it goes through the clouds, and there's some problem, it happens. But again, you are cool. So he was very tensed. What's happening? The plane is shaking and all. And suddenly he looks at his compass. There's nothing showing on his data. There's no data showing him where he is. He couldn't believe his eyes. The compass was turning round and round. It was dead. It would not work at all. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. He tried the radio, Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then, in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. I could see the pilot's face turn towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Follow me, he was saying. He knows that I am lost. I thought, he's trying to help me. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now, there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Okay. I'll come back in the next video.